Hey everyone, so I'm back in Minnesota, as you can tell by the dry cleaners in the background. Sorry for the late uploads with everything. I do apologize for that, but what can you do? So this will be my day 6 video, and then afterwards I will do my day 7 back to back, so it'll be the same background, and again, it'll be a mass upload, and I do apologize for that, but here goes nothing. So day 6 in South by, it was raining, so naturally me and Mary decided to go to Starbucks because it was my first time going to Starbucks ever, and I can honestly say not super impressed, but you know, there's not much I can do about that. Next I went to a panel with Ashley Graham, who is the supermodel, plus-size supermodel that was on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit for the first time. She was the first plus-size supermodel on there. And she was speaking to Bozeman. I don't know first name or last name. I'm just Bozeman. We're going to go with that. Who is a woman that was a executive for Uber at one point, and now is doing like another company that's just kind of like does everything. And they talked about like women in the industry and everything, so I got front row for that, like right, and I ended up sitting right next to, I think it was like Ashley's manager or somebody like that. And while I was sitting there waiting for them to come out, I tweeted at Ashley, and she retweeted my tweet. And I kind of died a little bit, and that was the most popular on Twitter I have ever been in my life, and I'm still getting favorites from that tweet to this day. And then to top everything else off on my life, Ashley's manager grabbed the book, because I had Ashley's book sitting out because I wanted Ashley to sign it, and took the book backstage and got Ashley to sign it. And I'm going to believe that Ashley actually signed it, as opposed to my doubters might think it was just the manager chick that signed it, but it was not. It was Ashley, and I'm gonna believe that for the rest of my life. That was my first. That was what I did during the day. And then at night, I went to the Driscoll Hotel on 6th Street, which is a beautiful building, by the way. It was in some of my, it was in like my first or second video, I believe. I took like the architecture shots of that building, and I didn't realize that at the time, but they were. And so I went there for an all ages show, which ended up being like a lot of like Latin music and stuff like that, but like I'm not gonna complain, it was really kind of cool. And so first person that went up was this girl who I think it was like Taimane or something like that is how you pronounce it, and she was a Hawaiian ukulele player. And so the Austin Ukulele Society came for that performance and watched her perform, and it was insane. Like, the first video I have of her at the end of this is, like, of her performing, and it was amazing. And the dancer in the second clip, his name was Hunormous or something like that. It was funny. And I befriended a middle-aged couple who, the husband in that couple was a member of the society. And after her, there was another, kind of like Greek inspired music group, and I forget what their names are, and I forget what the rest of these names are, and I'm so bad at names, and I apologize, but they're all amazing. And if you really like want to know who they are, I will look them up for you. Just message me and I will figure out what their names are. But this woman performed with a traditional Portuguese guitar. And so she performed, and it was a lot of like kind of Greek inspired, like what you'd think of as like Greek music. And it was really good. And then after her was this woman, and she was really good. She was very dark when it like comes to her songs and stuff like that. So it was like very melancholy kind of thing. And but it was really cool, and she had like a loop pedal and everything, and I think she sounded really cool, although it was a bit dark. The last woman that I saw that night, there was more after that, but I went home because I didn't want to stay until like 1 o'clock in the morning. This last woman was actually, her and the previous woman went to Berkeley together and became really good friends, and so they taught each other's language, because the girl before spoke Portuguese and this woman spoke Spanish, so they taught each other the language, and they did duets together and stuff like that. But the one thing I have to say is this last woman that I saw played, this is her last song or whatever, was on a washboard with like the concierge bells and like a little symbol like attached to it, and she wore it and she played, and it was really cool, and I loved the rendition of this song, and it's at the end of this video if you want to fast forward or watch it or whatever. But that's pretty much all I did that day. Was I went to one panel and I sat at the Driscoll, and Zach came by for a little bit and then left again, but that's pretty much all I did that day. So see you guys, bye.
chover, nem mesmo preciso de casa. Você é meu chão, não tem vento nem brasa, não tem praia, sol, escuridão. Leve todos os livros, as janelas da sala leve, mas deixa as palavras do Chico pra eu chorar minhas pernas que se vão. Você já virou meus sentidos, meu quê de razão, minha loucura, meu crivo, até mesmo a minha solidão. E não vi nada. No use to deny, I wanted to die the day you said we were through. But now I'm fine, you're out of my mind. No, can't believe that it's true. I've forgotten somehow that I can't so before. And it's a wonderful now that I don't hurt anymore. No, 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 no use to deny, I wanted to die the day you said we were through. But now I'm fine, you're out of my mind, and I can't believe that it's true, yeah. Oh, forgotten somehow that I can't so before, yeah. Woo! And it's a wonderful now that I don't hurt anymore, yeah. Yes, it's a wonderful now that I don't hurt anymore. Plantada por los inglés, plantada y sin saber qué hacer, abandonada por internet, limitada como un rey de ángeles, pareció estar echando raíces, vomitando todas las perdices, que mi país no era suficiente, ese argumento tan poco inteligente. No me lo expliquen más, no hay manera de entender que no tenía que ser, la latina no iba con el inglés. No me expliquen más, no hay manera de entender, no tenía que ser, la latina no iba con el inglés, la argentina no iba con ese inglés. Plantada por un lord inglés, tremendamente descortés,